We'll see what happens. Now, with that being said, we're prepared for anything. We are so prepared like you wouldn't believe. You would be shocked to see how totally prepared we are. If we need to be. Would it be nice not to do that? The answer is yes. Will that happen? Who knows?
I think he's talking about war. Anyway, welcome back to Harvard. That was President Trump with a cryptic assessment of his administration's plans for dealing with North Korea. NBC News reports today that the president's actions are leading to a breakdown in talks with North Korea, writing, diplomatic efforts between the United States and North Korea are in peril, with Pyongyang shunning talks in response to President Donald Trump's increased public attacks on Kim Jong Un. The report adds that one top American diplomat has warned officials that diplomatic efforts are on their last legs. That same diplomat has told congressional aides that the president has handicapped diplomatic efforts. That helps explain this dire warning from Senate Foreign Relations Chair Bob Corker.
When you send out tweets into the region to raise tensions, when you kneecap, which is what he's done publicly, when you kneecap your Secretary of State, whose diplomacy you have to depend upon to really bring China to the table to do the things that need to be done, back-channeling in some cases to North Korea. When you kneecap that effort, you really move our country into a binary choice, which could lead to a world war. So, yes, I want him to support diplomatic efforts, not embarrass and really malign efforts that are underway.
That's the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Bob Corker. For more, I'm joined by Nayyera Hack, former State Department senior advisor and Howard Fineman Global editorial for the direct editor for the Huffington Post. Let me talk with Nayyera first of all. What's the danger in this not talking because they're so mad at Trump for making fun of their leader?
We have effectively outsourced our diplomacy and foreign policy to every other country in the region and not what is in the best interest of the United States. In fact, it is now all about what is Donald Trump's personality and what he wants. There's not a strategic play or vision for what should happen in the region. By underfunding the State Department, by only having 50 ambassadors in place out of 197, by publicly rebuking his own head diplomat, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, it has come down to Trump versus Kim Jong Un. And that is not a scenario that allows much room for any of the typical things in diplomacy, which is listening, empathy, helping people save face, and leaving room for discussion. None of those play to Trump's strength.
Howard, could this president of ours, he is our president, taunt this North Korean leader into a war? Just taunt him into a war?
Well, that's what not only Bob Corker, but the entire diplomatic community in the United States and around the world is concerned about. I've talked to Bob Corker about it. He understands Donald Trump's personality and the dangers of Donald Trump in this kind of setting. This is not a negotiation over a zoning project variance in New York. Trump personalizes everything, as you were saying. He wants it this way. Frankly, if he could have no ambassadors, he would prefer that. He wants it all about him, and he believes that he is the guy who has to be the story and the person who confronts or negotiates. If it's not binary, not only binary, but binary in the mind and the personality of Donald Trump, it's not the way he wants it.
We didn't understand Japan before World War II fully when they went to war with us, but the emperor, Hirohito, was profound. If he said we go to war, we go to war, even when he had the right prime minister at the time. This guy, suppose he feels that he's been humiliated, and all the generals around him feel he's been humiliated, their dear leader. They could go to war on that.
Absolutely, and this is not a democratic system we're dealing with.
Look at these guys. They got. By the way, what wars did these guys fight in? Look at all those war medals. These battle ribbons. How many wars did they fight? Look at them. Jeez, I'm just kidding. I don't want to make fun of the guys. They'll start a war over it, but big hats, too.
Right. There's no opposition to rely on a North Korea to check the leader there. And what we're looking at now throughout the region is China being the check on North Korea, potentially Japan, and South Korea. And hopefully now with Donald Trump going to Asia on his first trip, it'll be more like a show and tell, and you hear from the people directly on the ground, and it'll have some impact on him, because clearly experts, any of his own people in his inner circle, have not been able to temper his rhetoric.
He doesn't want
Russia. Can Russia help here? Can his friends
I think
help?
so. I think so. I think any back channel can conceivably help. China's almost too close in a way, and Vladimir Putin has made some efforts over the years to try to reestablish some ties in North Korea. And Rex Tillerson, by the way, is close to Vladimir Putin because of all the business deals that they did with Exxon. You don't want to leave any avenue untried, except that Donald Trump doesn't want any avenue that he doesn't directly control. That's the problem.
Well, it was Russia, by the way, that gave the okay to Kim Jong Un's grandson.
By the way, it's Russian. It's Russia. A lot of it's Russian technology in the missiles as well, which is more important in a way than the trade with China.
Which is important to know that even Russia wants a rhetoric to dial down and is not looking for war.
Well,
in the
let's
region.
hope Russia will come through here for once. Nayyera and Howard Fineman with a hopeful thought. They're up next.